Today, we're diving into one of the distinctions in Immanuel Kant's philosophy, the noumenal and phenomenal world. How does Kant address the age-old problem of correspondence between our knowledge and reality? To understand Kant's distinction, we need to recognize the problem he's trying to solve. Philosophers have long debated how our knowledge corresponds to reality. Are we seeing the world as it truly is, or just a projection of our own minds? Kant proposes a radical solution, a strict separation between two realms, the noumenal world and the phenomenal world. So, what are these two worlds? The noumenal world is reality as it actually is, independent of our perception. Let's assume the real world is rainbows and unicorns. It exists, but it is fundamentally unknowable to us. According to Kant, we can never experience or describe it directly. It remains hidden from human cognition. The phenomenal world, on the other hand, is the world as it appears to us through our senses and cognitive faculties. This is the world we can engage with, analyze, and make meaningful statements about. All our knowledge is therefore limited to this phenomenal realm. Now, why does Kant introduce this distinction? He's attempting to navigate between two major philosophical traditions, empiricism and rationalism. But more importantly, he's addressing the correspondence problem. How can we know that our ideas match reality? Kant avoids this issue by essentially sidestepping it. Instead of trying to prove that our knowledge corresponds to an independent reality, he argues that our knowledge is always shaped by the structures of human cognition. We don't know things as they are in themselves, we only know them as they appear to us. At this point, you might be thinking, wait a minute, doesn't this sound like the idealism of George Berkeley? Well, yes and no. Like Berkeley, Kant agrees that all knowledge is based on our experience. However, Berkeley famously concluded that the external world does not exist at all, only minds and their ideas exist. Kant, in contrast, maintains that an external world does exist. It's just that we can never know it directly. This is where Kant separates his epistemology from his ontology. Epistemologically, he is an idealist because our knowledge is confined to experience. But ontologically, he remains a realist because he asserts that a world beyond experience does exist, even if we can never access it. This brings us to Kant's ultimate position, Transcendental Idealism. He calls himself an idealist because our knowledge is shaped by how we experience things, not by things in themselves. However, his idealism is transcendental because he acknowledges that this framework applies only to our knowledge, not to the nature of reality itself.